hands on 14 wonderful years of preaching the gospel, sharing the truth, and making a difference in thousands and thousands of people's lives.
Well, thank you. And you and Mike have been very instrumental in the work, in the sense that you guys have occupied a lot of airspace, and no doubt lots of lives have been touched through your preaching and teaching.
Well, thank you very much. And the Lord has opened up an awful lot of doors, and we've been very grateful for the opportunity to get to serve. But God has done so much. You know, we prayed, and I pray the same thing for you, that God would open up doors for the Word, and that we could speak clearly and boldly as we ought to. And that's what makes a difference.
Yes, it does. Phil, one of the things that we wanted to talk to you about, I guess, tonight in our program is, where do you see the future of broadcasting going?
Well, there's so many changes that are taking place in society today, and television is changing. People are moving away from dish and from cable to various internet types of things, and this is big. The Nielsen had 118 million households with televisions in 2010. Today, in 2019, that number has dropped down to 110 million households. That sounds like a funny thing with the population growing, but the number of TV households actually shrinking. And it's because they're no longer on cable or on dish, but they're still using their antennas, and they're using more and more different kinds of internet TV, and that's going to continue. There'll be a lot of shaking out of the larger companies taking over, and some of the others. Netflix has been around a good while. Amazon Prime is in it. Hulu and others. And you've got some things like Roku. And the thing that's so interesting is that among those kinds of internet connections, Roku is really right at the top and is the preferred means by which many people go on to various type of internet channels and their subscriptions and such. So those are some things that I'm noticing and watching very carefully, because we want to be able to stay as up to date and be able to continue, and we have to, sure, in order to reach souls.
I know you guys are into a lot of different markets, and with regard to the changing of the strata, so to speak, of how people are getting television today, are you guys having to reevaluate, I guess, how you do business?
Well, we're continually talking among ourselves about how to do certain things. We are only on one cable network, and that would be WGN America. Of course, we have our own YouTube channel, and that helps a great deal as well. But as far as the cable part of it, WGN America is our main way of doing that, and it goes into places that we do not go with antenna. But we are in about 180 to 190 places with an antenna. Now, there are only 210 television markets of America, and that includes Alaska and Hawaii. And we are in all of them through WGN America if they have cable or dish. But that still means that there's a good 20, 30 markets that we haven't broken into. We're wanting to do more and more with the antenna. And that may sound funny, but if you're on the antenna, you're also on the cable and the dish because it's required.
How about that?
And people who are using the internet a great deal are buying those little white antennas, and that's going to be, I think, more and more. People don't want to pay $150, $200 for cable TV anymore. And they'd rather spend that $80, $90 for the internet because they do everything by the internet anyway. But if you've got one of those little black or white antennas, that's a flat that you can put on the wall and pick up that, 10 or 15 stations that are local, you have all of your local service, and it's free. And then you only have your internet cost and whatever subscriptions you have. But in the end, it's a whole lot less expensive than spending that $150 to $200 for the internet, the phone, and the TV all together, or however you package it.
Sure.
So I'm thinking that TV just got too expensive.
I think you're right. Listen, Phil, we are about 2.5 minutes out before we have to sign off, and we appreciate so much you calling in tonight, and thank you for all the wonderful work that you do, and our prayers are with you, and God bless you in everything you do for the cause.
Well, thank you so much. The Lord has been mighty good to us to open those doors and to bless us and to be with us. And our prayers are for you. Every lighthouse matters.
Absolutely.
And I thank God for what you do, and I appreciate the support that y'all have always given to us.
Well, it's mutual, and thank you so much. And listen, hope to see you soon.
God bless, and thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Guys, I know that we're about 2 minutes out before we have to conclude our program tonight. Before we conclude, we talk about all the good that we can do, all the good that has been done. And when it's all said and done, really one of the things that prevents us from doing more good, finances. And you hate to talk about money, but it's just the truth. It takes money to operate. And so in terms of vision, Mark, what could be done if the resources were there?
Well, like Phil talked about, he's on half hour once a week on WGN America that gets into, almost every cable system, every satellite TV system, even internet-based systems. To do something like that with a network, it costs a lot of money. We're talking to the tune of millions of dollars a year to do that, to get into all those homes. Now, GBN has and will continue to be very aggressive in trying to use as many outlets as we possibly can as we can afford them. And pushing forward, if somebody has $5 million sitting in their pocket ready for it to go, we'll put it to good use.
Absolutely. I believe the money's out there. And again, we've never asked for money on the air. We'll never do that. But we do understand that finances are a part of operating in order to reach people. BJ, as you think about all that's been done and all that can be done, what would you say to those who are watching tonight in terms of us continuing on in this good work?
Right. I would encourage all of the viewers to talk this up, to tell others about this. Some still don't know that this is available right now on the internet 24/7 through gbntv.org. And so there are many other means whereby through apps on the phone that people use. The GBN has an app that can be downloaded and you can watch the content there. Most folks are savvy enough today to be able to use that, and that appeals to a lot of younger people as well. And just so many different ways to get the word out. And my suggestion also would be to pray. If everyone would keep praying for open doors. And I think about all the denominations that dominate the airwaves with so many programs, with so much false doctrine. We need to get the truth out even further and wider than we have. And we can do it. We can do it.
Yes, we can. I want to just close by saying, Mark and BJ, you guys have meant the world to GBN, and we're so grateful to you and for all that you do, and our prayers are with you. Thank you for being a part of our program tonight. We hope to see you back here again next week. Thank you again for taking time to watch this program. Until next week, God bless.
This has been GBN Live. Thank you for watching. Speech on. Selected. Focus. Do not disturb. Accessories and scenes you add. Living room. Music recognition. Selected. Screen recording.